Hello everyone, this is part 3 of the New York Comic Con video series I'm making. So this is the final part, and this is where I showcase the remainder of my autographed comics, a few Funko Pops that I got autographed, and give you a few more tips that might help you for the next New York Comic Con or just about any comic book convention you might be going to. First, we're going to start with Blackest Night Wonder Woman number 3. It's a Greg Horn cover. He actually has different styles of signing. He can do Greg Horn or the G and the H. He can do it in just black, or I think black or silver, or he could do it in an actual color to match the cover. The color is a little bit more. I think one was 5, then 10, then 12, like that. So I think I paid $10 for this one, but it's such a beautiful cover. My favorite cover of his, besides the Wolverine cover that he did a while back, which on my first video for New York Comic Con that I did, I showed how I got one of the prints from him from that Wolverine cover. But yeah, awesome cover, awesome signature. I love the way his signature looks, and in that purple, even better. So I wish I would have done that purple on the next cover, on the next comic book, and you'll see why. This is Immortal X-Men number 9, covered by Peach Momoko, one of my new favorite artists. I'm a big fan of how she does her drawing. Not crazy about all of her covers, but there are a lot of covers that I like from her. But this one is my top favorite cover. Only problem is, I don't know if you can tell, you can barely see the signature. So the story behind this is, when I looked into getting her autographed, I saw online previous to going to New York Comic Con that you had to get a reservation or a ticket. I can't remember now, but it's something like that. And those were sold out, gone. So I was like, okay, I guess I'm not getting it. But just in case, let me take my favorite cover, because you never know. Well, I actually had my Sharpie oil pen colors, and one of them was purple, and it would have perfectly matched her hair. But as I'm walking around, again, I'm not thinking I'm going to be able to get her autograph. I see her doing autographs and only 2 people in line, and I go, I wonder why are there only 2 or 3 people in line. So I walk up to the volunteer that was in front of her, that was kind of watching the line and the area, and I go, hey, is she autographing right now or later? And she goes, well, what do you have? And I go, oh, I actually have one comic, and that's it. And she said, go ahead. And I go, okay, awesome. And I got in line. And I was so surprised that I was going to be able to get her autograph. I didn't even think of pulling out my favorite color to put on this cover. So I just pulled out the comic and handed it to her, because I was next, and she just autographed it. And this is what I got. And let me show you one more time. It's black on top of the hair, but almost blending in with the other dark gray / black. So, I mean, if you just look at it like that, it looks like there's nothing there real fast. And again, I'm happy that I got an autograph from her. I was very happy that she was doing autographs for free. So I'm grateful that I got the autograph, but it's okay. If it would have been here in this purple color, 10 times better. Like this color, which is the one I had. So, lesson learned. Be ready. As I said on my last video, part 2, have a little sticker that tells you what, the color you want to use. As a reminder, as you're pulling out the comic, you'll see the sticker, or even a little sticky note that Post-it of the color of this, right? So you can buy different Post-its, like the little arrow ones, and it comes in like 4 or 5 different colors. But I didn't think of that ahead of time. It would have saved me a lot of trouble, because not only is this one the one that I wish I had a different color on, but also the next one. Again, I'm very grateful for the autographs that I got and the fact that I have them autographed. So, but this is my one of my favorite Batman Dan Mora covers. So I say Batman, but it's Superman and Batman. So this is where Superman and Batman both got together, and they took, spoiler, they took the Green Lantern power from Green Lantern, and all three became one being for like just like a pan, like maybe 1 page or 2 pages, something like that. But yeah, he autographed, Dan Moore autographed down here, and he did it in black. But that's my fault. I didn't give him a color. Both of them, Peach Momoko and Dan Moore, would have been, they were super nice and would have been more than willing to do it in color, but I didn't ask. I wasn't ready. And I waited for Dan Mora for like almost an hour in line. And then I waited like more than 20 minutes once the line started going, because it was going super slow. And once again, I was at the front. I was within the first 10 people. And for some reason, it was going super slow. So you can imagine waiting over an hour and then forgetting to get the color that you want on the cover. So, you know, some advice, always be ready. Always be ready and over ready. So it's okay, you know, to put like a little reminder. So, but that's okay. I got the autograph. I'm happy. This one actually, I'm much more happy that it's super visible. This one, it's kind of disappears. So that one, not so excited, but it is okay. I still got awesome autographs. Let's move on. Wolverine Origins #1 by Joe Quesada. I even got a cool little sticker in the back that they were giving away. So this one was actually on the second floor in the showroom. So a lot of artists are actually not in the artist alley, and you have to go in the showroom and find their booth. And sometimes they have their own place, their own booth. Sometimes they're part of a comic book company that is doing like comicmint.com or places like that. So you got to know the hours of time and all that. So, but yeah, that was cool to meet. I mean, he was the president of Marvel, right? And it was such a great moment. And this is one of my top favorite Wolverine covers, especially because it's the brown suit and because there is the wild Wolverine and the superhero Wolverine. And just to, you know, it's like the reflection, he's seeing himself and I guess reminding himself. I don't know. That's awesome though. That was awesome. Okay, next. This one is super special, although the book is beat up, but it's about the contents. This is Comics Price Quotes from September 1987. It's the #1 issue of the price guide or price quotes. I didn't know who the cover was. I just got it because it was such a cool cover. And then I find out it's Arthur Adams. And I recognized. I was like, wait, he looks like an artist I already know. Like, but why can't I remember the name? And then I looked it up and yeah, it's Arthur Adams. So I got it autographed right there at the bottom in silver. Whenever it's Wolverine, I try to match it by doing silver for the silver claws. But then I realized these are actually white. Supposed to be silver, but they're white color. So, but and now I'm thinking the white would have stood out better on the red. But it's amazing. It's cool. And then a little cool thing that I found out is, you know, when you grab this comic price guides, you can look back at time, right? You can go back in time, and I'm always curious to know, because Wolverine is my favorite character, what his first appearance was like back in those times. So in 1987, or September 1987, right? Because it changes each month. Now I feel like it changes every day depending on what movie's about to come out. But here we have Incredible Hulk #180, first appearance of Wolverine cameo on last page, $8. $8. Next, 181, first complete Wolverine story, $32. Now, for those who don't know, back then, I don't remember grades back then. I remember condition and what condition it was, but I don't remember grading. Now, there was grading back then. I just don't remember it being such a big thing like today. So, you know, when you look at first appearance, only $8, 180, then, you know, they're talking about a good condition, right? So at least like 8.0, maybe 8.5 or better. So I don't think they're talking about like just any comic, no. So And the same for 181. And then 182, Wolverine cameo continue from number 181, $8. So very cool to see all of that. So you know what? I haven't looked at it, but now I'm curious to see X-Men or the X-Men #1, $500. 1963, $500. Oh, oh man, now I really wish I could go back in time and buy me a few of those. Woo! Especially in good condition. But yeah, cool little item to get autographed and then have it as history, right? So the next artist that I got autographs from is the artist from my 2 top favorite Marvel comic book storylines of all time, and well, that I read, and the #1 comic book story of all, Marvel, DC, Indie, for me that I've read. So his name is Steve McNiven. The 2 storylines is Civil War and then Wolverine Old-Man Logan. That is actually the one that I think is the most amazing story ever written. And I'm pretty sure I'm wrong about that, but that's my opinion and from only the books that I've read. But let's start with the autographs. So the first one's going to be Civil War #1, already signed by Vines, which was the inker for this story and for this cover. And then now Steve McNiven at the bottom, which is the artist, right? And I love the way he draws. It's amazing. So this is Civil War #1. Next one, again, my favorite story ever, Wolverine Old-Man Logan. This, I actually went to the store, bought the comics each week or month. I can't remember if it was weekly or monthly. And it's Wolverine Old-Man Logan number 66. And that's the part 1, so the first one from the storyline. Also autographed in cool green by Vines, which is cool because the green matches the Hulk and silver now matches Wolverine, which is the 2 that fight in the story. So that's kind of cool that I have both colors now. Initially the green was like, oh, it stands out too much and it doesn't match any other colors, but now I've come around to it and I think it's very cool. So that's part 1, and this is one of the middle parts, Wolverine number 71, Old-Man Logan story. The reason I got this one autographed is because not only there's such a cool cover where Wolverine got shot and he's like still ready to fight, but this one has a bunch of keys in it. And one of them, one is Black Bolt, the first appearance from that Black Bolt from that universe, and the other one is White Queen, and I believe also the daughter of Spider-Man. I can't remember. So yeah, very very cool part of the story, and now I have it double signed. Next, Death of Wolverine #4. This is triple signed by Soul, and now McNiven, and also Lindstein. So yeah, all 3 autographed that one. 1, 2, 3. So that's pretty cool. And then after his death, The Return of Wolverine, also McNiven cover, amazing cover, such a cool one. And then I got that autograph too. And then the last comic, which is the one that I thought I went everywhere looking for it because I missed pre-ordering it at my LCS. And then I went everywhere looking for it and I could not find it. And then I go to Steve McNiven's booth and there's like 15, 20 of them for sale. And they were only $15, including the signature. So the signature was $5, so I'm only paying $10, which is great, because I think the regular $6, $7, $8. So I just paid $2 extra. But here it is, Steve McNiven's cover, variant cover for Predator versus Wolverine, which is such a cool fight we've all been waiting for. I haven't read the story. I'm big on graphic novels now, so I love getting graphic novels to read stories. But some of these new ones, I hate paying full price. So sometimes I'm willing to wait, but I might not be willing to wait for this one because I really want to know what happened. But yeah, This is another one that I wish I got in a different color, but this one is not on me because I could have not prepared myself by putting a little sticky note or anything because I picked this one up on the spot. But this reminds me, when you're about to get your autograph done, ask yourself, what color do I want? Start thinking of that, and then when you're about to get it, it'll remind you like, maybe I want an actual color, because that green right here would have been awesome, matching green. So, but it's okay. It looks cool. It's amazing. I got the autograph and the cover I wanted. So, very cool. But that's not it for Steve McNiven. The other thing I got autographed was a Funko Pop of Old Man Logan, since he was the actual creator. I don't know if you can see it right there. It's in silver. Yeah, very cool. Let's see if I can take it off and you can see it better. Yeah, you can see a better one right there. It's in silver because I like the silver to match the claws of Wolverine. But yeah, very cool. Actually, I remembered at the last minute on Friday that I had this in my bag, and I'm like, oh, I never got that autograph. So way after I got the comic books autographed, I got this pop done. So that was very cool because he is the co-creator of Old Man Logan from this universe. So very cool. So next, I want to talk about the best part of New York Comic Con for me, which was meeting Kevin Eastman. So Kevin Eastman is the co-creator with Laird's on the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. When I was a kid, I used to love martial arts. I'm now a martial artist myself. I'm a black belt, and you know, I would have to say a lot of the things that I would watch when I was a kid, you know, Karate Kid, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I used to watch this show with Ernie Reyes, which was one of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in the movies, and then also he was a pizza boy in the second movie. And I used to watch a show where he did like karate stuff with a police officer that was friends with him, and it was a cool show back then. But yeah, there was a lot of things that kind of guided me into admiring martial arts, and then I got into it once I came to the United States. So I was able to tell Kevin Eastman, thank you for, you know, creating such a cool world that I admire, and I have to give you props for me ending up in martial arts. And he was like super humble and thankful. And this is what I got autographed. The two Funko Pops from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, my two favorite. These are the original that came out. So the first Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Funko Pops that came out. And yeah, Donatello and Leonardo are my favorite because of the weapons and the colors. So, and I'd have to say also just because Donatello is kind of like the dorky one, which I feel like I'm a super dork. And then the blue one, he's kind of the leader, and I've always looked up to leaders and becoming a leader. So yeah, there's something else there. While they're my two favorites, but yeah, and I got them both autographed in the colors that each one is or has. So very cool experience. I recommend that you guys go if you get a chance to go to New York Comic Con, especially next year. Put it on your bucket list. But be very prepared. If you didn't watch my first two videos, watch them because I throw a couple of tidbits there on how to have a better experience when you go, or just things that you may want to think about before going to New York Comic Con. And just overall, it was amazing. Anyone that I met there, you know, if you watch the video, thank you for making it a better experience by having awesome conversations with me and giving me advice throughout the 2 days that I was there. So yeah, overall, thank you guys, and I'll see you on the next one.